I'm making this video to explore the claim that a Glock, when at rest, this one being unloaded, and trigger reset, that the firing pin spring is partially cocked and does not have enough energy to set off a live round if it was to strike a primer. This is under the assumption that the firing pin hops off the sear and bypasses the firing pin block. Again, this question isn't a question of if Glocks are safe, but whether or not if a partially cocked Glock has enough energy to set off a live round. Now, to do this, we need to figure out what the measurement is of the firing pin lug to the slide itself when at rest. So to do this, again, clear. We'll reset the trigger. And because the firing pin lug is pushing forward due to tension, we will push forward on this trigger, which in return will push forward the firing pin lug. Firing pin sear. So this sear, we'll take the measurement from here, the sear, to the shelf. Now, this shelf sits flush to the back of the back plate of the Glock 19. Now, the distance between the shelf and the sear is 13.4 millimeters. Now, safe to say that from this back plate to 13.4 millimeters will be when the firing pin is at rest. Now, I created this rig to emulate that condition. The space between this hook and this backing is 13.4 millimeters. Now, this slide fits onto this rig, and the hook holds on to the firing pin. Now, this condition should be the same condition as a Glock when at rest. Now, the idea is if I'm holding down this firing pin or this firing pin block and release the firing pin, would emulate a condition in which the firing pin comes off the sear when at rest and bypasses the firing pin block, striking the primer. Now, the question is if the partially cocked firing pin spring has enough energy to ignite that primer. So we're going to go to the range and test this out. Okay. Primed brass control test. Have ignition. Primed brass. Test fire one, primed brass. We have ignition. fire 2. Test fire 2. We have ignition.
Top of the head, 2 that are just over the head. Yeah. Pretty good. My ability to like maintain that position for like seeing what the floor is. In a real world scenario, you would fall right. And if I was, what's nice though, is when I was in the military situation, they don't really get
Test fire 3. Test fire 3. We have ignition. Test fire 4. Test fire 4. We have ignition. Test fire 5. Test fire 5. We have ignition. As you see from the range footage, the partially cocked Glock was able to fire 5 out of 5 times. The primer used were CCI small pistol primer. As for the Glock, the slide is completely stock with the exception of night sights, which have no impact on the internal mechanics of the slide. If you enjoyed this video, please support me by clicking the link in the comments. I sell a radio-based hit detector for shooting steel targets at long range. Thank you all.